All right. Welcome back, folks, to the FF Face-Off, part of the Face-Off Sports Network. Today, we are coming at you a random Sunday evening podcast. We're going to be doing a best ball draft, of course, on Underdog Fantasy. If you guys don't know, download Underdog Fantasy today. It's the best way to. Anthony will say this too. I like doing it more than mock drafting because people are drafting for real money. It's happening now. So I think that gives you the best perspective as opposed to doing a mock draft. And by the time it starts, 8 out of 12 people have already got, they're already gone and they've already forgotten about it. But we're gonna do that draft. Anthony, do we have a promo code with them still or no?
Yeah, just face off is our promo code at Underdog.
Well, so if you're signing up for Underdog Fantasy, enter the promo code face off upon signing up, and they'll give you a little something. So there you go. We'll find out the particulars and get that to you at some point. Anyway. Feel free to follow the show at FF Faceoff on X. Of course, on YouTube, go to YouTube, search FF Faceoff. Business is booming over there, so hop on board. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. We genuinely appreciate it, and we also like to answer the questions in the live chat. Lastly, fffaceoff.com for all of your fantasy football, NFL, sports betting needs. My name is Michael Hoff. You can follow me on X at the FF Realist. My partner in crime, always looking incredible in a tank top. He looks happy today, too. He's refreshed. He had a nap. His name is Anthony Servino. He can be called the real NFL guru. Anthony, sweetheart, how's about you?
Doing good. I figured if we're going to do these drafts together, might as well stream them.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we kind of did it on Fridays anyway in the past.
Yeah, but I'm saying, sometimes Pete and you will jump on, or Pete and Steve, and if I'm going to do it, I'll just might as well see if they want to do a live stream. Why not make content if there's time to make content?
Yeah. And for listening, before we get into this draft, I will just also say for the people, we tend to mention this during the show. I'll just mention it now. For those who are listening in podcast format, if you kind of want to get the lay of the land of what we're doing and really see it, if you go to YouTube and if you watch this show, Anthony's going to put the draft screen up on the screen here. So the draft screen up on the screen, whatever, you get it. And you'll be able to watch each pick go by. And you can comment in the chat and say, why the hell did you do that? Why'd you do this? And we'll happily let you know. So there you go. With that, Anthony, we are joining in MMG's Best Ball League. That's a $5 entry. We don't know who MMG is. We're assuming since we're old, maybe it's a rapper that we don't know. Yeah. But it's probably not it. But
yeah, we got Clueless, Greg, Hustlin' Bruce, and Zach Linton all in the chat. What's going on, guys?
What up? What up, everybody?
But we're all gonna I'll do a countdown to say we're gonna join the draft. So if any of you guys want to draft with us, go into the lobby now.
Minute,
Now I realize I have to join from my phone, otherwise because I have one of those, I forgot what they're called. On my
location thing, the geolocation thing. Yeah. And as we wait another minute, in case anybody wants to get on again, it's $5 draft, MMG Best Ball League. It's at the bottom of the list of the drafts. You can jump in there. We'll tell you when to join. But yeah, I am house sitting, so that's why I have a different background. And
I like their house.
Yeah, it's a very nice house. Yeah, it's so far so good. Haven't burned the place down yet, but I'm here for another 5 days, so time will tell. But yeah, and again, Greg, they don't have Underdog in UK, sadly. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of wonderful things about the UK, but Underdog Fantasy is not one of them. They need to get their ass in gear on that. My condolences. Hopefully, you can vicariously live through us. All right, Anthony, you can I guess if you want to do a countdown to join.
Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Okay.
8 more.
8 more to start.
7. Okay.
7. All right.
So now is the time for anybody out there.
Yeah.
Yes, Jamie, an impromptu show on Sunday. It's content, right? We're drafting some shows out there. Plus, we're going to be ramping up shows, I would think, as we get closer to the season. And in the season, we'll obviously have our Sunday morning Q&A thing going on. Might even do 2 of them, depending on how the team split up.
Right.
But I will always be in the 10 a.m. time slot. That is my time slot, and I'm not going to let that go.
Really, Jamie, was what me and Anthony said to each other today. We said, how can we make sure that Jamie's paying attention to the program? So that we said, let's do a draft on Sunday. And if he's paying attention, he'll notice. So welcome aboard.
Look at Greg says he makes his living betting on U.S. sports. That's amazing.
Yeah. Good for you, Greg.
Why the hell not?
God bless you.
If you're that good, I wish I was that good at betting. I'm trying to get there. Betting's hard, but there's a lot of good people like you, and there's a lot of good handicappers out there.
Yeah, I'm trying with DFS, so we'll see about this year, about cracking through that glass ceiling.
Boopy says, I got to get on screen.
Boopy says, Anthony kind of looks like Sam Hyde, a funny comedian. Haha. Well, we'll have to check out Sam Hyde, and we'll tell you whether you're right or wrong on that. I'm sure you're right. You seem very smart. You seem trustworthy.
I got to find the draft.
All right, so our draft is starting. Anthony said
I got to get it on a board. No, I'm good. What pick am I, by the way?
You are 7. I'm 5.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a little out of it because I did take a nap.
You just napped. You said you were refreshed.
But I'm still like groggy. I woke up and I texted you, hey, let's fucking draft.
Yeah, you said, but you also said, I am refreshed. You didn't say I'm groggy, you know.
Anyway, so where are we?
That's kind of misleading. All right, the draft just started. Surprise, surprise, CMC goes with the first overall pick, followed by, does it say it yet? It doesn't say it on mine. It says I'm up in 3 picks. We'll wait. Coach is patient. It's probably CD Lamb. It is CD Lamb. Yeah. CD Lamb goes with the 2nd overall pick.
Love the variance here.
Yeah, right. I mean, with those first 2 picks, it's kind of, you know, because I know CD Lamb, we will say for news purposes, he's obviously holding out, but Anthony, you and I both anticipate him being there, right?
Better be.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know what they're. I mean, that I don't know what Jerry's doing. I don't want to get started there, but they make it sound like they're going to get something done with these guys, but I need to see it.
Yeah. We'll find out. All right, so I did go. I ended up picking Justin Jefferson. It was for me. It really came down to Justin Jefferson or Bijan Robinson. I just always like starting these best ball teams unless I have that 101. I like starting it with a wide receiver. So that's where I'm going here. But, you know, Anthony, if you're in that spot, are you somebody who's hesitant to draft Justin Jefferson, at least in that spot? Not in general, obviously, but because of the quarterback or?
I mean, it is early, and there is a quarterback concern. I have Jefferson closer to like I would probably take, and I do take the running backs over Jefferson. Obviously, I will have some variance here and there. Even AJ Brown, I put him in line with Justin Jefferson, believe it or not.
All right. And did you make your pick?
Yeah, I took Breece Hall. I'm starting to draft Breece Hall over Bijan like early throughout the offseason. I was going like a 50-50 split, but now I'm hammering Breece Hall. I should probably go the other way at some point. We still have a good 5 weeks of drafts left. So, but right now I'm on a Breece Hall kick.
I got to be honest, Anthony, you don't look a lot like Sam Hyde. Sorry.
I don't know who Sam Hyde is.
I hate to.
Is he related to Carlos Hyde?
You don't look like Carlos Hyde either. So that's for sure. Yeah, no disrespect to our listener. We appreciate the engagement, but I don't know. I don't think Sam Hyde. I don't know. You know, we got Jamie Googling it, and he said it would be more of a nerdy, sloppy version of Anthony. That being Sam Hyde.
No, he's calling me sloppy.
No, he's not. Of course you're not sloppy. Look at you. You look gorgeous. Come on now.
Say.
Jesus. Anthony is a tank. That is correct, Greg. He is a physical tank, but he's also a sweetheart. So
yeah.
Just stopping by to say smash those likes. There you go.
Who's
Cheers,
that?
Big Draft Energy. Big Draft Energy. And you fellas are goated. Anthony, I know we're older, but that means that we're cool.
Yes, I know what goated means. I don't know what yeet means. And I don't think people our age should be saying yeet. And that's including Jey Uso.
Yeah. I don't know what it means, and the best part is about not knowing what it means. I don't care what it means, so that's the best part about it. That's best way to live. Ignorance is bliss. Speaking of which, we are actually doing a draft. I'm coming up in 3 picks. Again, if you're watching along on YouTube, You can watch the draft board. Anthony will go back to the draft board eventually. He's going to pick in a few picks, though. So he's picking right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He is picking right now. That would be the 6th pick in the
God,
second round.
I hate this spot in draft.
Now, would you hate it as much if you had drafted a wide receiver instead of a running back?
Yes. This is just, to me, this is a dead spot.
Oh, you just hate it in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to go Chris Olave. I don't love the pick.
Ugh.
But I'm not going to have a ton of Olave, but I need some more. Yeah, this guy has everything to be somebody special at wide receiver, except the quarterback. Does it change with the new OC? Does it change without Michael Thomas? And people forget Michael Thomas played 10 games. So, a few more targets going in the direction of Chris Olave and possibly Rashid Shaheed. I don't know. I'm hesitant with Chris Olave. Like, some people love him. I love him if he was on like the Cowboys or if he was on Chiefs. Yeah, I really love him. But now this is like
You're also not getting him mid to late second round if he is on one of those teams. But I get what you're saying for argument's sake. So Anthony starts off with Breece Hall and Chris Olave. As Anthony was explaining his pick, I went ahead and took Saquon Barkley. So I have Justin Jefferson and Saquon Barkley. And I normally don't do this. I usually take 2 wide receivers to start my draft. I'm going to take 2 running backs, and we're going to see how this goes. I'm going to go with Derrick Henry as my second running back.
Yeah.
I could have gone Kyron. I love both backs. I trust the durability of Derrick Henry a little bit more than I do Kyron, but there you go. I think either pick you're doing just fine there in the third round, even if it's your first running back. Anthony, you are on the clock now. Anthony, as mentioned, has himself Breece Hall, Chris Olave. He's shaking his head. Apparently, he hates this spot of the draft as well.
Yeah, I think it's just where I was picking. It has less to do with my build, and more to do with like I just don't like the players that are coming to me here. You've seen some of my builds where it's like, how am I getting these players? And here is like, Jesus Christ, how am I going to fucking build a team?
Well, as long as you're talking yourself up so much, why don't you tell everybody who you drafted with your third pick?
DJ Moore. DJ Moore. I like DJ Moore. I'm not too worried about Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze. I think DJ Moore's clear alpha on this team. And he finally popped this year. And if Caleb Williams is worse than Justin Fields, Chicago has a big problem on their hands, but we assume he's going to be the same or better, which means I'm expecting similar output production-wise from DJ Moore.
Yeah. I mean, I like DJ Moore. Yeah. I will say, if anybody,
some people are weird about him this year, like he's going to regress. Like, I guess the loss of Justin Fields is so catastrophic to a wide receiver.
I don't think that's what they mean. I think they mean the addition of other players. Yeah.
What, broken down Keenan Allen?
Well, yeah.
Rookie Rome Odunze.
I'm just saying that's probably what but I would also say, even if people think that he's going to regress, I don't think he's going to regress to the point where he's not worth where you just drafted him, So.
And by the way, Olave, while I was he was still the wide receiver 16. We're obviously drafting him higher than that, but it was a vast improvement from his rookie year.
Greg says he's not keen on Moore himself. I don't know if he's being cheeky by saying keen as in keen in.
I'm on the clock too.
You are on the clock. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. Greg, just pretend that you are and take a victory lap because I like it. How's my internet connection, by the way? Am I good?
You've been good so far.
Well, only because I plugged in the hardwire to do the hardwire, but I didn't turn off the Wi-Fi. So technically, I'm still working off the Wi-Fi. And the clock is running on Anthony. Is he going to get auto-picked?
Nope. Mark Andrews, baby.
Mark Andrews. Oh, all right. There's a pick that Anthony knows and loves. All right. I am coming up on the clock here.
Now, quarterback value in this draft, everybody's falling right now. Josh Allen, I believe, is the only one off the board. And let me pull up the board. I'm being a bad host.
You are being a terrible host. Yeah, you know what? I'm going right into it because I'm
Oh,
gonna. I'm gonna. No, what?
am
You're
I a
fine.
moron?
No, why are you a
I
moron?
think no, I think I am a moron, people.
Okay, fine. You're a moron.
What does
That's
everybody
settled.
see on the screen? I think I could have done this the whole time.
We see your draft screen.
Hold on, I'm gonna go one up here.
That sounds great.
I could actually do we see the whole draft board now?
Now we do, yeah.
Wow, I'm such a moron.
Oh, it's
I could have
spirit.
done this the whole fucking time, and I didn't realize you can open up a secondary screen.
Hey,
And
everybody,
share that.
everybody, spam in the chat and tell Anthony that he's a moron. Don't worry, we won't flag any of you. It's fine. Anyway, while Anthony was having his epiphany, his brain fart, his whatever the hell you want to call it, I am up in 3
looks
picks.
so much better.
What Anthony was talking about was Anthony was saying that a lot of people were waiting on quarterbacks. I decided in my infinite wisdom after he said that to jump off the cliff and take a quarterback. So I took Jalen Hurts to partner up with Saquon Barkley. So I got that going for me. Eventually, I got to get in here and get some wide receivers. I don't love this, but I want to get a wide receiver. So I'm going to take, on the opposite side of Anthony's DJ Moore, I'm going to take Keenan Allen.
Why? I don't understand it. I don't like it.
I'm not in love with it either, honestly. But with the other names that were out there, I guess the other name I should have, could have, would have gone with would have been Calvin Ridley. Probably would have been better off going that way, perhaps, maybe, ish, in a way, I guess. I mean, would you say Calvin Ridley would be like way better of a pick?
No.
Okay, so anyway, so
actually, yes. Yeah, I would take Calvin Ridley over Keenan Allen.
Well, this is a product of entering the 5th round and only taking one wide receiver to start your draft. That's what happens.
I went and took Anthony Richardson.
And that's good. That is your guy. So it's starting to level out for you. You're starting to get some of like your guys that you are happy with. And Anthony, just so you know, people in the chat are calling you a moron.
Good.
Clueless, which Clueless of all people is telling you that you're a noob. So there you go.
Yeah.
And talk about being a moron, then takes Keenan Allen. Son of a bitch, Jamie. Jeez, he got us both there, I guess, a little bit. And Greg says, I make it a thing never to call someone bigger than me a moron. So he's taking the cowardly approach.
I call myself one, so I don't care.
No. Classic heel, Greg. Classic heel. All right, so there you go. All good fun. Anthony, how are you doing in your draft at this point? You said you got Anthony Richardson. You don't have any other picks yet. So
Reese, Olave, DJ Moore, Mark Andrews.
Yeah,
it's nice.
It is. It is. Right. I mean, yeah. I like my start better than your start. I like your last few rounds better than my last few rounds.
Yeah.
So I think we're leveling out there. So there you go. For those who are just tuning in, we are doing an MMG best ball draft in Underdog Fantasy. Costs $5 a pop. I have the 5th pick in the draft. Anthony has the 7th. We are currently in the 6th round, and Anthony will be up in 3 more picks. Yeah, shortly. Which actually freaks me out because Anthony has the 6th pick of the 6th round, and it's a 66 overall pick. That's too many 6s in my book. It's not 3, but it's
4.
It's still, I don't like looking at it. So hurry up and pick whenever it comes to you. So there you go. For those who are watching, feel free to like if you're already watching. Feel free to subscribe. You might see us a bunch. You might not know. You might not be subscribed. You might think you are this whole time. So check it. And if you're not, please do. Helps us out immensely. We appreciate the hell out of it. And now Anthony is up now. Christian Watson just went off the board.
I wanted Watson so bad with this build. Yeah.
All right. So where are you going?
I'm going to go Hopkins, I guess.
All right. He's going to go Hopkins.
Yeah, I'll go Hopkins.
Yeah, that's where I was debating going too, you prick.
I have a lot of McConkey. Let me start getting into the Levis stacking, hopefully.
That's probably where I'm going next. Since you went with Hopkins, I'm probably going McConkey next. If he does not go with this next pick, it's probably where I'm rolling.
He went.
And he went. You son of a bitch.
God damn. I really wanted Christian Watson. I'm a little upset at Alejandro.
Oh, God. Now I'm tilting. Oh, I love you. I love you, George, but I don't want to take you right now. Do I have to take you, George? Ah, son of a bitch.
George Kittle.
Tilting sucks. I'm doing it. Screw it. He'll give me some big games. He'll give me some pop games. It's nice in best ball.
I have a lot of best ball George Kittle.
Yeah. No, that's where he's good. Because again, we've talked about it a lot on this show. George Kittle, for as good as he is at the end of the year, for as good as he is in the NFL with blocking, he's got games where he just gets phased out by game plan.
Yeah.
That's it. So, yeah. So, whatever. All right. So, I'll take him. I am tilting a bit after that, though, because I was going to go Lad McConkey. So, that sucks. And Roma Dunze's just sitting there saying, come on, Mike, come get 2 out of 3 the wide receivers in Chicago. Come do it, buddy. I can't do it. Can't do it.
I like Odunze. Like, I see a world where Odunze beats out Keenan Allen eventually.
I could see that too.
Yeah.
I know.
Or by injury. Or by injury. Got to say it.
Brian Thomas or Odunze. That's where I'm sitting.
I would go Thomas just for the variance. Nope, you didn't.
Nope. I literally had a second left, so I just clicked it and picked it. All right, so whatever. This is a different build, and I'll say this is the opportune time to say this, Anthony, on this program. This is why me and Anthony love to do multiple drafts like this, because you tend to build your team in different ways. You tend to figure out, I like this, I don't like this. This works for me. I'd love to do this again sometime. I don't know if I'm going to love to do this again sometime, but I'm going to go with this build. We're going to see how my roster turns out. So, I mean, if Caleb Williams throws the ball to somebody else besides DJ Moore, I mean, I'm likely getting points for it.
Yeah.
Unless it's a Cole Kmet, which, maybe I make him my second tight end and just say, let's just go Chicago. Chicago, it's a hell of a town. So we'll see what happens. What could go wrong? Anyway, Anthony, enough of my bitching. Who did you take with your last pick?
I went with James Conner.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It was him and Najee sitting there, and those are 2 players I'm getting a lot of this draft. I went with James Conner. Conner, outside of the few games a year he misses, he's very solid, very much involved in that offense. And I think that the Cardinals' offense is going to be sneaky good this year.
I don't even think it should be considered sneaky. I mean, they've got Kyler healthy for a full season now, but I get what you're saying. To people who aren't paying attention throughout like this, just like you are and I am, it might come up as a surprise to them. But
they have a lot of guys.
I know they have guys. They have names. They have names, and again, they've got a healthy Kyler Murray. Hopefully, God willing, knock on wood, for the whole season. Greg is asking, as long as we're doing this draft, he is asking in the chat, Anthony, you are up in 4 picks, but Greg is asking, who do you think are the players most likely traded up preseason? I honestly don't think any. I don't think Ayuk's going anywhere because he's still under contract.
Yeah.
I think CeeDee is going to be. I think CeeDee's going to get paid. He'll be there. He'll be fine. I don't think anyone's getting traded in the preseason. At least not anyone of any kind of significance.
Yeah,
right?
I'm kind of with you there.
Yeah,
we might see one, and if it is one, it could be somebody that we're not paying attention to.
Sure. Okay. Fine. Yeah.
That's also within the range of outcomes. That there's a curveball thrown.
There is. And Anthony, you are up on the clock. So as Anthony gets ready to pick, he's got 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. After Anthony and I pick, Anthony will give you the rundown of his team, but we will see who he picks. And Mike Charles, we will answer your question in 1 moment. After we make our picks, actually, we will answer Mike's question. And then we'll go from there. So Anthony takes
Mostert
a running
talent.
back. Anthony takes my kind of guy. All right. Like that. Love that for you. Geez, I hate my team so much.
Last year it was all about Achane at his value. This year I have very little Achane outside of Dynasty and a lot of Raheem Mostert.
I hate this team with the passion of 1,000 suns. Glad we did this. Mike Charles is asking, would you trade the 4.4 in a dynasty league plus a 2025 first round pick to draft Malik Neighbors, already drafted CJ Stroud and Garrett Wilson? So you're giving up the you give me the 4-4 in the dynasty startup. So I guess that's now. And then next year he's giving up a 2025 first rounder.
What's the draft? So a 4th round pick?
I guess,
What's the 4-4? Well, the 4th round pick's worthless.
4th pick in the 4th round. Maybe he's in the middle of this draft now.
Oh.
I think that's what he's trying to tell us.
To draft Malik Neighbors.
So maybe he's trying to move up. Wants to take Neighbors.
Or by doing this is a dynasty draft with rookies in it.
Yes, it's a dynasty startup. And obviously the NFL draft's already happened, so here we are.
Yeah, I would.
I think I would do it because even this year, even if the quarterback situation is rough with the Giants, they're going to get somebody in there the next year, and they're going to make beautiful music with Daniel Jones. So, yeah, I'd make that. I would bite Daniel that bullet, Mike. I'm saying if Daniel Jones is not great this year with the Giants because he wants to draft Neighbors, if Daniel Jones is bad this year, and if they get rid of him, the Giants will bring out the quarterback.
Beautiful music. That's a positive.
You're not listening. You're not listening to me. You're only listening to half of what I'm saying. And now I'm on the clock, and now you're pressuring me. I am going to take, as I continue my shitty draft that I can't stand.
Regardless, I would do the deal, get Neighbors. I think that long term, he's going to be a stud.
What I was saying, and you were missing what I was saying. I said, even if this year doesn't go great with Daniel Jones, the Giants will then get rid of Daniel Jones. They'll get a better quarterback, in which then that quarterback and Malik Neighbors will make beautiful music together.
Okay.
Yes. No, the music this year with Daniel Jones has the potential to be like fingernails on a chalkboard. Or it could be great. But that's more a product of how good Neighbors is, not how good Daniel Jones is. Anthony, I got to tell you, going with the build I went with, I fucking hate it, if I could be honest.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Let's look.
Makes me feel like shit, actually.
Well, you got Hurts, Saquon, Henry, okay, Brooks, Jefferson, okay, your receivers kind of blow. And then Kittle. I like everything about the receivers, but see, this is with best ball. What I would do here, and I find myself in these situations often because I'm
going to draft a shit ton of receivers now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Now you literally just go get a fucking 8 receivers, and you make up for getting the guys who are going to give you 2 or 3 spike weeks, and hopefully they're scattered around.
Yeah. But hopefully they're scattered in the correct spots.
But that's why, in best ball, when everybody wants to get receiver early, you're gonna punt receiver a little bit and just draft a shit ton of them.
Yeah, I don't. Again, I love having Saquon and Derrick Henry, but because I know they'll probably handle most of the weeks for me.
For me, I wouldn't be able to do that per se because I need to carry 2 to 3 quarterbacks because Anthony Richardson's health. I need to carry at least 3 tight ends because of the health of Mark Andrews. But you got Richardson. I mean, you got Hurts. He's fairly healthy. You can essentially get by with 2 quarterbacks. Your tight end Kittle has been healthy. You can get by with 2 tight ends. So you go 2 at those positions and then hammer receiver the rest of the way. That's how I would recover there at receiver.
It's probably what's going to happen right now, to be honest with you. Part of me was thinking if quarterback fell enough and I was already getting cute with 2 Chicago wide receivers, I would just take Caleb Williams, but it's not necessary with Jalen Hurts. Because even if Caleb Williams is good, Jalen Hurts is probably still going to outscore him.
Yeah.
Most weeks. Give or take a few. And if he does, it probably won't be by a ton of points. But Anthony's now on the clock, so I'll shut my mouth. Well, not to you guys, to him. Anthony right now, as he picks 1 quarterback, 4 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a tight end. We didn't get around to going through Anthony's roster because we were answering Mike's questions. So after I pick, then Anthony will talk about some of his roster, and I will just tell him to go to hell because he just took a wide receiver that I wanted to take. So there you go. And he can let you. And then the next guy took another wide receiver I wanted to take. Well, you guys like conspiring against me? What are we doing? What's going on right now?
Well, what do you got left? Yeah.
That's right. You know, he always throws out some good games.
Big Mike, Gabe, what?
No, Jacoby.
Oh,
Jacoby. You saw my wide receivers already, Anthony. Just shut up and tell everybody your roster, will you? Leave me alone.
My latest pick
must be this house. Oh no.
My latest pick was Brandon Cooks. He's going to have some spike weeks. What I like, because Cooks got off to a bad start last year. New offense, new situation. He's the guy. He's the 2 here in Dallas, and he knows the offense. He came on late, so hopefully we get a little bit of a bounce back season from Cooks. Obviously, Dallas is going to have to throw the hell out of the football.
I mean, Dallas will throw the hell out of the football, I would think. Still, even though they have Zeke back, Zeke is not what he was.
I'm looking at a reality where Trey Lance is my quarterback next year. That's my reality.
No.
I'm already content with it.
Not with how practice looked yesterday, buddy.
I'm buying a Trey Lance jersey, and
right,
maybe I get a discount on it. But he is the future of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, you know what? I'm going to continue my very awkward build. My build is already shitty enough. It's so shitty that my brother's dog just walked away from me. I have 2 Chicago Bear wide receivers. I decided to take 2 Packer wide receivers.
All right.
You know what?
You know what? Why not?
If they hit in certain weeks, maybe it pans out. Turns out he didn't walk away at disgust. He's just drinking some water. So, and with good reason, I have to go get myself a drink. So, Anthony, you make your pick. You talk to people, and I'll be right back.
I'm going to go Josh Downs. I'm going to complete a little bit of a Colts stack here. Obviously, guys like Adonai Mitchell's on the board. I like Downs more. Not really a rapport with AR because Richardson only played a few games, but rapport with this offense. I think he'll be the clear slot receiver in this offense. And he was hyper targeted last year. So I like Josh Downs a lot more than Mitchell. Mitchell could be the more talented player, but I think Mitchell slides into that Alec Pierce role, and it's going to have some spike weeks, but I think I need a little bit more of a stability, high floor receiver at this point, and that's what Josh Downs should bring me. Is Mike back yet? No. So 7 picks away. Who's going up the board? Dallas. So I was going to say good tight ends are starting to fall. Good tight ends are now moving with guys like Freiermuth, Dallas Goedert off the board. Corum, Jerome Ford just go. So back-to-back running backs, followed by Jared Goff. Tua and Justin Herbert are on the board still. Dallas Goedert goes. 4 more picks until it is back to me.
So, I heard you say Freiermuth went off the board.
Yeah.
Whom I made a tweet about yesterday saying I decided I like him, especially in DFS and things like this. Anthony, he is 4,400 in week 1. I had guessed around 3,800. He's 4,400 in week 1. I'll still take that. It's the 10th in price among tight ends on DraftKings for the Sunday slate.
Nice. Listen, where are you on Tua? Why is Tua fucking falling this much? Are people afraid of an injury year? I don't get it, but I'm getting Tua. Now, it scares the hell out of me because that gives me 2 injury volatile quarterbacks with Richardson and Tua, but I also have 2 quarterbacks that could potentially run the tournament.
Well, before I answer your question, Pete is saying on our private chat, Anthony, please scroll down so I can see the rest of the picks on the draft board there. So he can see how the rest of the teams are building.
All right.
You can wait till after you do your pick if you want, unless you could do it now, unless you're good at multitasking. There you go. Good for you.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, dropped his phone. Now you see, look, now he's getting nervous. He's gonna start cursing. Anthony does take Tua. I like the Tua pick, and I get it. One wrong move and Tua could be out for quite some time, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I'm going to let me check this out real quick.
This draft, I mean, the running backs are dry as fuck right now.
Well, I'm happy I took Saquon and Derrick Henry.
I have Breece, Connor, Mostert, Pollard.
So I went, as we were just talking, Anthony, I ended up taking Cole Kmet. So now,
all right,
if Caleb Williams throws a pass to anybody besides DJ Moore, I'm getting some points for it. So, you know what? This isn't my favorite best ball team, but I don't hate it as much as I did about 10 minutes ago.
What if they drove past a Bobby Tonyan?
I'm going to curse.
Is Tonyan still there, or did he go? He might be somewhere else.
I don't know. Well,
he might have went to Minnesota. I don't know. No, they brought in Gerald Everett. I'm sorry.
You guys running another draft after this? Pete is asking. Yeah, Pete, maybe we will, man.
I don't know if I'm going to be on for that. I got to eat dinner.
No, not on the show. I think he's saying off air. Which, I mean, I will, Pete. I'll draft with you.
So I have a little bit of bad news that my favorite smelling salts are no longer. I can't find them.
Oh no!
So now I got to find a new smelling salt provider. This is drastic.
Wow. Sorry about that, man.
Or I'm just going to start sniffing ammonia.
Hey, there you go. That's an idea. Now you're cooking with gas.
I'll make my own.
Pete did say Tonyan to the Vikings. So that
all right, so you got Gerald Everett's the guy that you got to worry about now.
That continues the trend of Packers going to the Vikings. And Anthony, I would be remiss as you get ready to pick if I did not pull up the comment of one ATL Mikey from about 4 minutes ago. He's got to ask because he's got a troll. Anthony, what's your level of concern or concern level on the Dallas Cowboys?
High.
I mean,
high.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Like for this year, like I get what Dallas has
easy marketing in the chat. That's my brother-in-law. Wave to my brother-in-law, Anthony. Wave to my brother-in-law.
As I'm trying to talk.
Yeah, as you're trying to talk. Yeah, now you can talk.
I would say, like, Dallas over the years, they've drafted exceptionally well, which is why they have 3 more key players they have to pay like this.
Right.
So, like, I kind of get it where do we need to bring in these free agents or do we grow and try to attack it that way? I think what people, like that's what look at teams like the Patriots, even Kansas City, they're not big on bringing in free agents. They're very much homegrown.
Very much.
The 49ers, they don't bring in free agents. They're homegrown. Green Bay, outside of Josh Jacobs. But
Niners are always good to bring in one decent free agent. Like a Charvarius Ward a few years ago,
But like they're not making these like people see Jerry, they see Dallas, go buy this player. I think it's more of because of who they are.
Right. Their reputation, I guess.
The roster's really good. They were a 12-win team 3 years in a row. So, like, I'm concerned for 2025. I'm concerned about Trey Lance being my QB1 and fucking Jalen Tolbert being my wide receiver 1.
Yeah, I'd be a little worried.
That's my concern.
That's a fair concern. Anthony, I feel like this is a jab to you, so I'm just going to put it on the screen. Pete says, ran out of salsa. So I'm now using vodka sauce with my tortilla chips. I think that's him taking a swipe.
Why is that a fucking stab at me?
I said a swipe, not a stab. A stab would be more.
Because I like chicken vodka sauce pizza?
That's probably what he means.
That's actually amazing.
That's
Even when I order chicken parm, I will order chicken parm with vodka sauce.
Yeah, well, that makes you a weird person, man.
Why? It's called the Godmother.
I never asked what it was called. I just don't like it.
It's a real thing.
Oh, Pete says he's being serious. Oh, so Pete, so you're crazy too.
Is that good? I made you try that. Tortilla chips and vodka sauce. You
guys are fucking nuts. Jesus. You know what? buy that bleach you were gonna sniff and start doing that. Pete's saying Hop is wrong. No, you're wrong, Pete. And you know what? I'll even throw your comment up there. Hop is wrong. You're wrong. Hey, this. Ready? Where's this? Where's the camera? There you go. You're wrong, buddy.
I am in a predicament.
Let's hear about your predicament. Let's get back to actual fantasy football news.
Do I go
analysis?
Running? Oh shit! The clock is running. Fuck. All right.
Well, that's what the clocks do when they start. They do run.
I'm going to get Likely, and I'm going to handcuff Mark Andrews. I think I'm drafting Likely a little bit early.
I like that, though, because if you get an injury to Mark Andrews... Yeah.
I think I did it too early, but the clock was going down. I was trying to figure out if I take, like, another tight end, is Andrews going to come back to me? Because I'm staring at a situation where if I go tight end now, I'm going to have to go tight end next pick. So it's like, let me just get the guy I want now, and then I'll figure out the rest of my build. The predicament was the running back position. I wanted Ray Davis, and of course, Ray Davis went immediately after me. But I felt like...
Who would you have taken outside of that?
What do you mean?
Because I'm saying after Ray Davis went, was there another running back you were considering taking?
I would have taken Davis over Likely, but I feel like I needed Likely more to protect my Andrews investment.
Because I took J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
It's only because I have 3 running backs, but again, I'm very confident in my 2. So
I like Dobbins. Like a great player. Can he stay healthy? If he's healthy, I think he's going to be a good player.
I do feel compelled to keep people updated as we draft here during a fantasy football draft. ATL says, I like chicken parm with vodka sauce. Of course he says that because I say I don't like it. So, So now he naturally loves it. He probably just ordered it twice. And Pete says, Mike L gets it. No, he doesn't get it. Pete, you don't know his reputation. Guy's a loose cannon. All right.
We got to get Joe. I want to get Joe Henry on the show.
Joe Hendry, you mean?
Joe Henry. Yes.
Yes.
I love that guy. I don't.
Because you believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe in him. I didn't know who the fuck he was, and then I saw it like popping on like Twitter. I'm like, who is this guy? I guess he was on NXT.
I was afraid to bring him up to you because I thought you would laugh me out of the.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
He actually a quick wrestling comment, and then we'll get into Anthony's pick. Joe Hendry is with Ring of Honor actually, but Ring of Honor now has this, or no, not Ring of Honor, whatever, one of them. No, TNA. Whatever the fuck it is. And now they have some partnership with WWE. It's TNA, actually. So some wrestlers from TNA will creep into WWE, vice versa. Usually it's with the NXT brand. So that's what you're getting now. So, Anthony, you were on the clock. Who did you take? And for folks who are listening, I will tell you, once this draft is over for the podcast listeners, we will go through our entire roster.
Yeah.
And we will talk about it. But Anthony, who'd you take just now?
I went with Will Levis. Again, normally when I'm drafting a quarterback
high,
when I draft quarterback high like Richardson, I don't draft 3. But because Richardson and my QB2 Tua, they have volatile injury histories, I'm forced to go QB3, which I don't mind because my build. Or my early build was wanting to get some Titan stack, and I go Levis, and I stack him with Pollard and DeAndre Hopkins, running backs, Breece Connor, Mostert, Pollard, Olave, DJ Moore, Hopkins, Cooks, Josh Downs to stack with Richardson and Darnell Mooney, one of my favorite. I have a ton of Mooney, and then Andrews and Likely. I kind of dig this fucking build.
So, and I like that build too, and we'll go over it once the draft is over. My brother-in-law is commenting. He's not normally in here, so he's here. And I will say, brother-in-law, subscribe if you haven't and like it.
Yeah.
But he says, I completely agree. I do like vodka sauce. However, Mikey is a loose cannon, that being ATL. So
he knows Mikey too.
he knows him all right. He knows him all right. He knows him all right. So yeah, I could make some comments, but I won't do it on air. But yeah, no, he knows him. He knows him.
What's the post on Odell Beckham Jr.? Like, I know he's on he's on an NFI list. Like, is it worth drafting him? Like, what are we doing?
I still think it's worth drafting him. I don't know the exact news on him. I got to be honest. I'm sorry. As you know, I've been out of the loop last few days, but I do know he's on a little bit of a pup, but I don't think it's anything that's going to be extensive. So I think especially at the price that you're getting him, like you're getting him, you're asking
the
me
pup cup?
in what's that?
The pup cup.
Right, pup cup. Yes, sure. You're asking me in the 16th round if you should draft Odell Beckham, which means you're not sacrificing a lot to get him.
I didn't say the 16th round. That son of a bitch is going to be round 18.
No, I know. I'm just saying we're starting that conversation in the 16th round. I'm not saying you're pulling the trigger as you're coming up with your the 6th pick in the 16th. I'm just saying, So there you go. Good times. Anthony is now on the clock. He's got his 3 quarterbacks. Again, he gave us his build, but he'll give us his build once his draft is over.
I'm going to go with one of my most owned players in Mike Gesicki. Every year I draft a shit ton of Mike Gesicki in round 16.
This is the year it's going to work, though. At least for round 16, though. Round 16. He's not going to,
I tell you, if Mike Gesicki doesn't take a step forward, because he grew up down by me, 20 minutes north, played his high school. He's on a billboard for a car dealership. I'm going to fucking throw something at that billboard. I'm going to throw some eggs at it. Right at his face. I was kidding.
It's going to be like an episode of Sopranos.
I'm going to have like Mike Gesicki's going to fucking knock on my door and fucking kick my ass.
Yeah, no, you got to go down to the pork shop and talk to Steve, Do a little something.
Jeez.
You guys. Fucking derelicts.
Who? Derelict. I like that word, derelict.
You like that word?
It's a fun word. It's a fun word.
Pop, did you watch Bo Nick's video I sent you? I had a little mahogany. What? Anyway, I don't know what the fuck that is about the mahogany, but good for you. I did not only did I watch the Bo Nick's video, I commented back to you about the Bo Nick's video, and you liked my comment. So yeah, I watched it, and you have a short-term memory. So there you go. I'm going to get creative here at quarterback. I normally never take 3 quarterbacks, but because I didn't take a quarterback until the 16th and 17th round, I decided to take both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. So I'm going to corner the market on the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback situation. So the state of Pennsylvania is now mine. Jalen Hurts, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. So there you go. For a 4th straight day, by the way, just an update from Adam Schefter. For a 4th straight day, no practice for Jamar Chase. Take that for what you will. Still a 1st-round pick, but
I'm torn between Alexander Madison or Kenny Gainwell. I think I'm going to go Madison.
Yes, I would too.
Gainwell, why isn't and this is my own fault because I'm very high on Saquon, but Saquon does have a fucking injury history, and Gainwell's a 2.
And not only that,
I know they got Will Shipley, but
and
why don't I have enough of game? I need to start being smarter and taking some shots here.
You know the thing is that makes me think of that, and I don't just I know I'm a Niner guy, but just walk me through this. People always say Kittle has an injury history, and he does. But when he gets injured, generally, it's only a couple weeks. He's had one thing where he missed 8 games was his worst. When Barkley gets hurt, usually it's for a while.
Yeah.
Usually it's he's jammed up. So that's actually a good point you're making. So,
yeah.
Oh, and we are getting asked because Anthony loves comic book movies. Pete is asking, Hoff, thoughts on Robert Downey Jr. back in the MCU? Before Justin Herbert playoff run. I'm not surprised that it happened before a Justin Herbert playoff run. Anytime Robert Downey Jr. is in the mix, I'm excited. And I think it's a desperation play by Marvel. But look at how Marvel turned their entire fortune around in the last week with Deadpool and Wolverine, which, by the way, was incredible. Everybody go see it. See it twice. I will. And then this Robert Downey Jr. news and the Fantastic Four. Everything's changed. The perception is completely changed. So there you go. The Jets getting Aaron Rodgers pre-Achilles injury. Anthony, do you have anything to comment on Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom in Avengers?
I have no idea what that is.
What do you mean? You want to talk about it?
No, I'm good.
What?
Dr.
That's
Doom.
Weird. That's weird of you. Okay. We'll talk about it off here.
Dr. Doom.
I'll text you.
Does he wear a cape?
He actually does wear a cape. He actually does. He does. You're so thinking like Vince McMahon early's 80s WWF, or WWF, Dr. Doom. You're thinking of something over there. Yeah, there you go. The hamster's now running on the wheel. Anthony's.
There was a Dungeon of Doom in wrestling.
There was a stable. Yeah, that was in WCW. That was with Kevin O'Sullivan.
Yeah, and it was him. It was like Kevin Kamala. They had some random fucking dudes in there, just like random ass. Like, hey, we have nothing. Hacksaw Jim Duggan might have been in there.
Pete says, great analysis, but you were shocked that he's back before a Justin Herbert playoff run? No, I'm not shocked, because before Jim Harbaugh, who was there as their head coach. So no, I'm not shocked.
So the Dungeon of Doom had like 30 people in it. Wow.
There you go. Well, don't fuck with the Dungeon of Doom, man. Maybe we should just change the name of this podcast to the Dungeon of Doom. You could dress up like Kamala. Not completely. Let's not get canceled. But
like literally, the Dungeon of Doom had Kamala, the Yeti, the Shark, Vader, the Zodiac, the Giant, the Barbarian.
Well, we'll get to your question in a second, I promise. After Anthony's done reading off the Dungeon of Doom.
One-man gang, a.k.a. Akeem, Braun the Leprechaun, the Ultimate Solution, Loch Ness. So fucking people wonder why WCW went out of business.
How the hell does a leprechaun get into that fucking room?
People wonder why that company went out of business.
That's my question.
That's all I know.
Anyway, great stuff. In case anybody's hankering for more Dungeon of Doom, go to Peacock, search up some WCW pay-per-views. I'm sure they're on there somewhere. But Will does have a question. Will does say, with the way ADP moves, is it better with the way ADP poos? With the way ADP moves, is it better to draft heavy in June versus August? And I'm sure that's more of a best ball question. Because obviously nobody in your redraft leagues is going to want to draft in June. They're going to think you're crazy. But in terms of best ball, yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good idea.
I draft best ball year round, essentially. Like Super Bowl ends, they drop contests, and I'm doing smaller money best ball leagues because I don't believe in mock drafts. Best ball has replaced mock drafting for me. I do my more serious best ball drafts, my serious, my high stakes FFPC teams in August.
Right.
That is when I draft my redraft FFPC teams, high stakes, anything worth money, significant money is August on. Just too many injuries. Like I get people want to try to be cute and corner the market. I don't believe in that.
The one thing I'll only push back on that is, and maybe Will is like an FFPC guy, but I'm saying for those who aren't an FFPC guy, Underdog Fantasy, for example, now, while there's a lot of people drafting, there's probably less people drafting now than there will be in August. So I think that there is a benefit if you're ahead of the curve on some of these ADPs. I think there is a benefit to you drafting now if you're just drafting Underdog. So, yes, I would say that would be a benefit to draft in June as opposed to August. But, Anthony, I get what you're saying about the big money leagues. I still have my money in my FFPC, some of it, so I will be drafting with you at some point. We'll let's make it a date, sweetheart. But before we do that, I'm going to read off my roster, Anthony, then you read off your roster. Only reason I'm going first is because I was the 5th pick. Anthony was the 7th pick. It was a weird build for me. Not my best build, not my proudest build, but my quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. So I get 2 Pittsburgh Steelers quarterbacks and 1 Philadelphia Eagle quarterback. My running backs, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Brooks, J.K. Dobbins, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Clearly, I'm relying on Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. My wide receivers are a very interesting build again, and I hate this so much. Justin Jefferson, Keenan Allen, Roma Dunze, Romeo Dobbs, Jacoby Myers, Dontavian Wicks, Xavier Legette, and Wan'Dale Robinson. So basically, I'm just relying on passes being thrown in Green Bay and Chicago. And my tight ends are George frickin' Kittle and Cole Kmet. So I've got 3 Bears pass catchers. So I'm relying on Caleb Williams not being a bust, which is a weird position for me to be in because I don't love him. But there you go. There's my roster. I'm not thrilled with it, but I'm going to draft with Pete off air, and I'm going to totally redeem myself. Anthony, how about your roster, sweetheart?
All right. So my roster is I started with Brees from the 7-hole, Olave, DJ Moore, Mark Andrews, Anthony Richardson, Hopkins, Connor, Mostert, Pollard, and then Brandon Cooks, Josh Downs, Tua, Darnell Mooney, Isaiah Likely. I think I was too premature there, but I wanted that handcuffed to Andrews, Will Levis, 3 deep at quarterback because I have a lot of injury volatility with the first 2 I drafted, Gesicki, Alexander Madison, Odell Beckham Jr. OBJ, it's a fuck it pick. I have Tua. It's, hey, if Waddle gets hurt or Tyreek gets hurt, maybe we get 2 spike games. And 2 spike games, all you really need from OBJ, drafting him in the 18th round to return value.
Well, Anthony.
Yes.
Pete thinks you had a fuck it draft because did you see the comment he's got right there?
No.
It says it right there, right in the screen. Ant's team is trash.
Good.
But he did have some actual analysis. He did say, I think rooms will be softer on Underdog in August with more casual players getting back. It's actually a great point too. So maybe you're fine drafting in June or August.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
And
Battison, waste of a pick.
Well, he's a handcuffed to Zamir White. Why not?
There you go.
They're going to run the ball. If Zamir White misses time,
they are running the ball. That's what they do. Sure.
But let's wrap up. We'll be back tomorrow.
By the way, with the Raiders running the ball so much, thank God they had Devontae Adams. He's going to love that.
And Brock Bowers. Can't wait. Can't wait for him to return value on people's shit.
Going to outscore Dallas Goedert, you smug dick. Go. What else you got?
No, I said we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
5:45 to 6 p.m. liftoff normally in that time slot range.
Sure.
I don't know. We're going to be rankings. We'll be doing some kind of rankings tomorrow.
That's my favorite comment of the show. Look at that.
We started doing rankings on what?
Yeah, the comment.
Good.
Pete's comment. Last comment. Right
good.
There.
All right. Good.
You like that? I love that.
Maybe I'll just take off for a week.
No, not easy. Well, no, don't worry about it. I'll take that off the screen. We're fine. Don't worry about it. We're good.
But we're going to come back fantasy football rankings tomorrow. Not sure position. We did tight ends last week, so we'll probably we'll talk off air and figure out what we're doing tomorrow. But it's going to be some kind of rankings and tiers. Promise you that.
No matter what, it's going to be informative. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun, and we can't wait to see you there, and we can't wait to do the show. So. Until next time, stay thirsty, be kind to one another. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Cheers.